greenhouse and garden update. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Rose. My pronouns are she, her. And in this video, I want to show you an update of our garden and greenhouse because it's looking incredibly lush thanks to today's sponsor, Gardena. Now that I'm nice and cool, we actually had a lot of struggles last year with the garden being quite hot and dry because we live so close to the beach. So in February of this year, we actually started this whole project. Well, actually, my boyfriend did most of the work to install a whole system in our garden. So we started, here's Mickey. Mickey! Hello! Say hi to your friends. And I know that some of you, I'm stuck, oh shoot, really don't like these collab videos and you said that it's too much of an ad. It's fine if you want to skip this part, but remember that this is how I pay my bills and I'm super grateful for these companies that they want to work with me. And I only work with companies that I actually love and trust. So I would never do this just for the money. I'm choosing very carefully who I work with. We started with a micro drip system for in our borders, and it took a little bit of installing because it's not only going through the whole borders that you see now, but it's actually connected to our rain barrel and a rain barrel pump. The left side of the garden is done with the drip system. So we're gonna test it out before we go to the other side. New float. This is for the banana, but it's still in winter mode. We just zigzagged through the garden. You can still see it quite clearly because it's still winter, and then all through here as well underneath the palms. Boyfriend is doing the last bits. Let's test out if it works. Mickey in the jungle. You already see the dripping. Rain barrel pump works on battery power, and up there we have some solar panels, so it's fully sustainable, working on our own energy with our own rainwater, spreading it again through our beautiful looking borders that I will show you more of in a second. Very necessary because we have some huge bananas now. Look at this beautiful banana Musa Bashu that wants lots of water. We also have here some new bulbs that I planted only a few months ago that I got from Rogier. These are an aroid. You can see actually when you look at the stem, my boyfriend calls it the garden Zebrina. So these have grown really quickly. Here's another leaf that's a little bit less damaged because this yucca spritzy thing is damaging everything. Mickey is always with us to help us out. Next, we installed outdoor taps, day 2, and we're installing the sprinkler system. But for that, I turned into a sprinkler myself there. No. My boyfriend is the funniest. For that, we need an outdoor tap, water point, which we did not have. So my boyfriend has spent most of today installing that. And this is the result. We have 2 points for taps because one will be constantly attached to the sprinkler system and the other one we can use for other things. Maybe even a little tap here. We're gonna have a little repotting table with a sink and a tap. Mickey is lying on the sprinkler. It does mean that the sprinkler system is connected to tap water and not our rain barrel, unfortunately. But the gateway that I will tell you more about later is connected to these smart sensors that are in the grass and measure whether it's still moist or not, still wet or not. And the gateway even takes into account the weather. So if it's about to rain, it's not gonna switch the sprinklers on. So it's a really, really smart system, therefore making sure that we use the water only when it's really needed and not just every day. Are you happy with the garden? I think you are. Then the thing that you just saw happening in the beginning are our automated sprinklers that are dug into the ground. My boyfriend dug 2 of them in because our garden is a little bit split because of the huge palm tree, of course. You can't put one underneath the palm tree, that wouldn't work. We knew it would take a lot of digging into the grass to set the system up because there's a lot of pipes going underneath to different points where it's split, where there's connection points. So that's why we started this in the winter, so that we wouldn't ruin our beautiful lawn that we have now. You can't really call it a lawn, but it's grass. Don't tell my boyfriend I said that. He takes very good care of this grass, but it's very small to call it a lawn. Okay, it's been a few days because we were waiting for some parts, but very exciting news. We're gonna start the system. I don't know what my hand is doing. This is the most crucial part of the system. This is like the computer that controls everything. It's called the gateway smart system. The gateway communicates with this app on our phones. Start.
Je moet hem vouwen, maar hij komt eruit, hij komt eruit.
Okay. We call this test a success. So the final system is this. The tap is connected to this box that makes the water go underground. Then there is a lead here that my boyfriend completely dug up without any of my help. Goes around this corner under the grass to this box, which is a valve box spreading water to different options that we have. This is the irrigation control, which is in charge of the valve box and connects to the gateway inside. Maggie, looking at us. Hi, Maggie. You're watching birds from inside where it's safe. I just got home from a day of plant fun at a plant market, and my boyfriend has done basically all the work. So that is very fancy. Can't even see it anymore, but there's a new thingy underneath here. Wow. Oh, and look at these flowers. Oh, beautiful. No, we're looking at the flowers. You have to stop and smell the flowers. Do you like the garden, Mickey? It even works with Siri.
Zet de microdrip aan.
So now we're getting water in the borders. We can also switch on and off the sprinklers that way, and even some smart plugs inside for certain terrariums. But of course, what you're here for is to see the plants. I want to start with the borders while you can hear the micro drip going. When we came back from holiday, we went on a camping trip to the UK. This leaf had opened on one of the bananas. Bananas are my boyfriend's thing, but they are very cool looking, I think. We have a little sunscreen up here, that's why it's a little bit darker. But we have a what is the word again? Clematis flower that's now all finished flowering, but it was beautiful before. We have honeysuckle here that's growing all over the pergola, which we wanted. Down here is my boyfriend's garden, so it's a lot of palm trees and I call them spritzer plants, these yucca things and stuff. And then on this side, you'll see a little bit more of my influence. So I planted some of my favorite plants are actually the ice flowers. I think they're called that. I showed them in a previous video. These are the hardy version of that. So these they only have one color flower, so that's a little bit less interesting, but they come back every year. Some cute little plants that I bought in the garden center, in some plants for the bees. We have some Gladioli, I think it's called in English, Gladiolis in Dutch, looking beautiful, and some more on the way. Also a lot of spiders already. It's only July, but spiders are everywhere. Back here, this is very exciting actually. It's already about to flower. These are called Gloriosa, so not Gloriosum. And I got these as little blobs. They're like little root balls or something, I don't know. And they grew so fast. They've been in here very short, just like these, whatever they are called, aroids. I forgot the word. Sorry, Rogier. Then here I planted two beautiful passion flowers. This is the regular one. It's already starting to climb up a lot. On this side, it's not open right now, which is a little bit sad, but this is a purple passion flower. So the whole thing, the whole flower maybe we can see it here, is actually purple. Look at that, stunning. This was a lily that's now finished. The roses are out. Well, these are finished already, but they keep making fresh ones. Another spritzer plant, that's my boyfriend's. And this is actually Rosemary. If you didn't know, my full name is Rozemarijn, which means rosemary in Dutch. It smells delicious. Nobody calls me that except one aunt though, so please don't call me Rosemary. That would be weird. This side started to look a little bit more sad. We used to have beautiful blue flowers, but they finished flowering. And then some beautiful pink flowers, but they are, I think they're finished. This is a little bush for the bees. And then this part is our fern garden that completely died back during winter. So it's fascinating to see how much it's grown again. I'm not sure if I like it anymore. It's a little bit plain, but at least it's growing. Down here, if you saw my first video about making this garden, I will link it. This is crawling chamomile. So it's just like our chamomile plants, only you press it down. I don't know if it's a specific kind, but you press it down in the beginning every like week or so. And then the little side thingies start to shoot up new plants. And that's why it's so full. And people actually use this instead of a lawn, because you have to water a lawn and take care of it and remove all the onkruid, what's the word, weeds. And this is actually a much more sustainable version of a lawn because it's green, it smells delicious, and weeds do not get through as much, and it doesn't need water like grass does. But it's only a small part in front of our little meditation area that I kind of don't want to show you because it's a work in process. This is going to be an outdoor kitchen. So, work in progress. Did I not say that? So we'll have to see what we do with our little cute wood shed and our garden hose, also by Gardena, but we're not talking about that in this video. My boyfriend's beautiful banana that we just repotted in a much bigger pot. This is by Elho. Actually, a lot of these pots are by Elho. I work with them sometimes and they look amazing, I think. Look at this. This is our little rock. Whew. Stepping on bits. This is our little rock garden, just looking really smooth, I feel like, with the big pots all in the same color, different shapes. I really like it. We're also still working on the hot tub. It needs some adjustments. My boyfriend is working on that. So our little ducky is just chilling out here with the canna. Variegated canna came all the way back actually. It was completely dead. The flowers are very cool, even though we have sun from behind, but they are half yellow, half red, because I think it's a variegated one, or like a two-tone one, whatever you call it. This is our fern tree. This is a palm tree that we got from my parents, I think. This is another type of palm tree. This we call a spritzer, but I think it's a cordyline. And this thing kind of looks sad right now. I cleaned it in the previous video, in the garden chores one, but it's dirty again. My mom made this. This is a little water feature that needs some love and attention. Caladiums that I grew back from bulbs are looking okay, but small. I feel like the wind is a little bit too intense here because we are close to the beach. So the new leaves are very small. Might have to put this back in the greenhouse. Bonus points if you can spot our little Mickey. He's always where we are. It's very adorable. So we've already seen the right side of the garden. Hey, Mick! Now let's look on the left a little bit. We have some trees here that we kept. These are, I don't know what you call them, but like evergreen tree thingies. And then down here are very cute. I think some people call these weeds, but they're the little, what do you call them in English? Lampion. Lampion plant. So it starts with a little flower and then it becomes lantern shape. Thank you very much, boyfriend. And then it becomes orange. And there's actually, I think, a fruit inside that you can eat once it's ripe. A very small little fruit. Next to that, this spritzer actually came back from the dead. If you can still see, yes, the old stem was this. But then we had a very cold winter. It did not survive. And this is the new one. So it's growing quite quickly. We also have a beautiful sunflower that I suspect my neighbor threw some seeds in because we didn't plant this, and he has a lot of them. So thank you, neighbor. This part of the garden looks a little bit bad. I tried to put more new plants in to make it look cute again, like these and this one. I really like these flowers, but some of them just, I don't know what's wrong. This Echinacea, it's just, they die. I bought several and they just always die. I don't know what's wrong with them. I decided to ask Rogier, and he just sent a message back that yes, they don't like the soil that we have here near the beach. They don't like the salty sea air, so they don't do very well here in general. It's not my fault. But luckily other plants are doing well. It might have to do with our soil as we're so close to the beach. It's very sandy here and moisture goes away quite quickly. The Brunnera is looking really nice as well. Ooh, I'm stuck in spider webs again. Look at this. The little columbines. I forget all the English words of the outside plants. Sorry. Our apple tree is looking really nice. I think this is also due to the watering system because apples need a lot of water to grow and we generally are not very good at regular watering. We also have a little Gardena apple, whatever that's called in English, in the evergreen. Is it a pine cone? I think it is. Then over here we have our butterfly bush. Still, again, I don't know. Buddleia. I know the Latin name of this one. We have two colors of it. So this beautiful light purple one, I actually got these from some of my best friends, and the dark purple one. Look at them together. It's just stunning. I'm very excited how big these always grow every year. It's very exciting. Again, palm trees everywhere in between. Some really cute plants actually that I planted earlier this year. These are some kind of oxalis, I think. I think this is also normally a weed, but I think it looks cute, so I kept it, even though it's kind of taking over the plants that I actually bought. So maybe I should be a bit more strict with the weeds. This is a garden begonia. I've never had a begonia that I actually liked for the garden. The leaves look pretty and then the flowers are also really pretty. So I'm excited. I got this at the Bosrand. There's a little rose bush down here, and lavender that's finally coming back. Somehow this also does not seem to do super well in our garden. Maybe it's not getting enough sunlight here. Our wisteria, which took forever to start to grow, is now really big. Again, the sun is against us, so I don't know if you can see, but it's growing up the pergola there. It's going up against our neighbor's house back there. So it's doing really well. And I'm really happy about that. We've had it for 3 years now and we've never seen much growth or flowers. So I'm hoping maybe this year, but I'm guessing next year we'll have finally some wisteria flowers. The blue, beautiful blauwe druif in Dutch. You're getting all the Dutch terms today, sorry. Our little bamboo divider that we made in the first garden video is also looking okay. It's struggling a little bit. We have a micro drip system in here, as you can see, that's on a separate little system. So this has its own little pump because it was too far away from the rest of the system. But I think because we kept this open, anytime we want to water a little bit more, it actually drips through. So I think the micro drip is not enough water, and when we want to give more water, it actually just falls right through. So this is not the ideal planter. But that's what you get when you create stuff yourself from old pallets. Let's see, then we move over to the greenhouse, which is looking incredible. My boyfriend's project is making surfboards, so there's one sitting right there. Oh, check out his YouTube channel, he says in the background, G-foils. The sofa has turned a different color because of the sun, unfortunately, but my parents sleep on this. It's very comfortable, they say. Let's start on this side first. Let's not skip my beautiful drawing of my babies, my plants, and my cats. We have some strelitzia. We actually split these up into different pots now, and they're all growing again. The alocasia something, I forget the name, that was struggling a lot. It turns out it was super root bound, so we repotted and it started to grow like mad, so that's really exciting. My jade vine or jade plant from my grandma is also still doing okay. This guy, not so much. This has a lot of mealybugs, so I'm considering throwing it away or restarting it with some of the end bits. These are my experiment cuttings, and actually this one looks amazing. I didn't realize this had so much growth. Where did that come from? Wow, this is looking good, except for all the dead bougainville leaves, because this guy over here that I got right before we left dried up much too much during the heat wave while we were not home. But we've watered it again, and right away it's starting to create little flower buds again, so that's good. Panning over to this side, the little shelf, it's not super interesting. The plants are surviving, not thriving. There's thrips in here. So just this morning, actually, I put out a lot of new good bugs. You can see them right there. all the preda trips to eat the thrips on this. Especially they seem to like this syngonium here. But they're also on this cephalotus, which is kind of sad. And there's also mealybugs on there, so we're having a little bit of a pest issue. I just put out fresh good bugs, so should be okay. Aloe. This guy flowered a while back. This is a beaver tail epiphyllum. Looked amazing. Unfortunately, I think I showed you that in the previous video as well. The agave and the opuntia don't change much because they grow quite slowly. Although they have cute little new blobs on the opuntia. Sedum has made flowers, but they've disappeared. This light is horrible to show you. I'm really sorry about that. Epiphyllum and Guliger looks very dried out here, but then very good here. I just watered them yesterday to hopefully improve a little bit. Some of the nice plants are on my table here, my workbench. This is Hoya Minibel, looking very yellow because it's getting a lot of light, but it just put out a bunch of flowers. They're gone now. They were here when my mum was here, so she was very, very happy with all the Hoya flowers. They're so beautiful and pink. Incredible plants. Here's a little combination thing. Oh, it looks like this Hoya is not super happy. But the rest of them do look really cute. I have a Pilea peperomioides, little, I forgot the word, cactus. A very etiolate. What is that? Did you see that? Is that water or is there like a gel thingy? No, just water. Looked so jelly. That's very weird. Also looking really good is my variegated string of pearls in this pot. I tried to put them around the pot again so that it keeps rooting down and it doesn't just hang down here and die, because that seems to happen a lot. There's not a bunch of variegation on it, but enough, I think. It looks very cute. Also this nice Echeveria, is that what they're called? And this cute Kalanchoe. Here's a few more of my succulenty plants. This is the glass Haworthia Cupri that I got from Rogier in an old video. Actually, the sun is really good for this one. As you can see, it's made a bunch of little pups, babies on the side. So in fall, I'm gonna take this apart and have little pots of new ones and give them away to my friends. These are all looking kind of horrible, so we're just gonna skip them and go over to this Caladium, which I bought as a combination Caladium pot for 10 euros at the Bosrand. And I actually bought it because of this one that's unfurling here, and this. You guys may know the name of it. I obviously don't. I always forget the Caladium names. Looks even more beautiful in the sunlight. Stunning. And this one as well. This is a very cool one. I didn't buy it for this, but this is stunning. It's like see-through pinkish with a green edge. Here's another one of those. In the sunlight, better. I don't know what this is, but it looks cool too. So there's a bunch of different Caladiums in here. I always wanted this one and I never had it. And as you saw before also, my other Caladiums look kind of sad. So I thought I can buy this pot and just have it look pretty over here. On the other side, there's also a bunch of new plants that I'm excited to show you. Some aeroids and philodendrons. I already showed you the red banana. It's actually like a fake banana or whatever you call it, not a real banana. This one we took over from a friend to rescue it from a lot of mealybugs, but it's proving quite difficult. They are very good at hiding in this plant and it's not working out well. Hi, Mickey. Oh, my little baby. He said hello to you guys. Another Strelitzia. And then on the top here we have the fern leaf cactus. I always forget the right name for this. It is looking really light colored and I would like it to look more dark, but because it's getting a lot of light here, it is yellowish looking. It's still doing really well though. There's some new leaf growth up there. I just watered it yesterday and looked at it up close. Also doing really well is this really cool string of pearls. They all look so happy. I never had this inside. It never looked happy for me ever. So I'm proud of that. Up there is Paradoxa chain that's growing okay, not super happy. This guy I think has root mealies, but it's one of my first plants, so I'm just letting it sit up there for a little bit longer. I watered it yesterday. Then in our living wall situation, which, can you see it? We have curtains here to block a little bit of the sun. We have mostly succulenty plants at the top. I actually planted this cute little, what is the word? Ficus elastica? Yes, rubber tree on here, and it made this new leaf. So it's happy. It made a new leaf, my first elastica leaf that grew in my care. And down here we have a Tunica baby. And of course, I know they're gonna be really big one day and they will not fit in our living wall. But for now, they're tiny and it's working out well. Lots of different succulents that sometimes make very cute flowers and sometimes they don't. Look at this one as well. And the Silver Glory is just super happy down here. It's hanging all the way down to the floor, so it's a little bit difficult to show you. This one as well is growing like mad. I put a little bromeliad in here because I noticed that the bottom 3 are much more moist all the time. They stay a lot more wet. The top ones dry out a lot, and then the middle ones are a bit medium because it drips through the system down to the bottom ones. Also in here, some very, very chunky string of pearls. In front of that, I'm quite proud that this came back from not looking so happy. This is my Prince of Orange, that for a long time I was questioning whether it even was an orange prince or if it was something else like a Macaulay's Finale or something, because it didn't look orange at all. It looked dark red. This is definitely some sunburn, and that's okay. We just get a lot of light in here, especially if we keep the curtains open. I actually got this when it did not have a stem at all yet. It just had some leaves coming out of the pot, and now it has this huge stem, so that's really exciting. And even though the older leaves kind of look ugly, I got this from one of my best friends, so I'm keeping it. We have a Dracaena here, which my boyfriend loves, all the dead leaves as well. So yeah, I guess we're just keeping this. And we have a little string of pearls. I find that they grow really well in sunny spots with just on top of the soil of some plants that don't need a lot of water, like this one. Palm tree. Down here, this is exciting actually. I bought these right before we went on holiday, so they look a little bit sad and it's kind of hard to show them on screen. This one is a little bit better, but these are colocasias that I've wanted for a really, really long time, especially this dark one. Whoa, I'm talking really fast, by the way. Maybe I need to chill like Mickey. Sorry. But I've been to Kew. If you saw my stories on Instagram, I went to Kew Garden with James from Slug Plants. Super, super exciting. And we saw these super black, huge colocasias on the side of the pond that they have there in the, I don't know, one of the greenhouses. It was incredible. My boyfriend also loved it. And I said, when we get home, hopefully they're still alive. I bought them for us. So I'm really excited to see how these do and grow them out. So that's these two. Even though the black does not look great on camera, they are alive. Unlike this plant that is not alive anymore, most of it. But I kind of gave up on it because it's been very tricky. Up here is a Hoya Fungi that has survived winter in the greenhouse and is now looking interesting. I also planted an avocado again. Scott would be proud of me. It is growing well. I used to have a bunch of avocado trees. I actually planted them in the garden and then they passed away during that cold winter. So I'm happy that we have another one now and it can stay in the greenhouse. Lastly, in this corner is a very, in my opinion, sad plant because this is my Pariso Verde that I got from an import, but all the new leaves are green. There's no variegation on any of them, nothing. So I moved it outside because I was like, I don't like you anymore. There's 3 plants growing in here. So this is one, 0 variegation. This is the other, 0 variegation or spots or whatever you call it. And this is the top cutting, also nothing. I did hear from my friends recently that this is actually normal and it has to do with temperature. I thought that was the case with Jose Buono, that if it's under 25 degrees, it will not get any of the spots. But apparently I remembered it wrong. And it's Pariso Verde that has that. And Jose Buono can actually make nice variegated or spotted leaves without the warmth. So if you have a Pariso Verde and it's looking all green, maybe put it in a warmer spot if you have it minimum 25 degrees and it will start to look amazing again. I don't think it will happen here because, I mean, it's warm now, but it's Holland. It's like 22 degrees. I don't think it will stay 25 for a consistent period of time, unfortunately.
Mixer! Baby banana gets kisses.
Lastly, we also installed these things. These are called water connectors, which is basically a water point, so you can just plug in and have water all the way here in the back of the garden. So that's really handy for the greenhouse if I want to water some plants. This was actually recommended to me by the woman of Gardena, not our own idea. We didn't even know this existed, but very, very handy. Are you lying on the sprinkler, Mickey?
Silly cat.
So to summarize, our garden and our lawn or grass or whatever you want to call it is looking incredible. And when my parents came to stay with us while we were on our camping trip, they slept in the greenhouse and we were actually able to manually on our phones switch off the sprinklers so that their bed wouldn't get wet. They wanted to keep the greenhouse doors open and it just reaches inside. So we were just able to switch it off whenever they wanted to sleep out here. The cats have been quite surprised by the sprinklers automatically turning on every now and then, which has been quite funny. But overall, the garden is happy, we're very happy, the cats are happy. Yay! And that's the end of this video. A big thank you to Gardena. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel below, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!